Tonight we have a unique matchup in the coaching sense. Teacher takes on student. Ohio Wesleyan battles Capital. Alan Yost will welcome Jay Martin and his battling Bishops. The Bishops come in ranked 7th in the D3 national rankings, but Capital, the team, has had a fine start themselves as they sit 5-2 as we speak. Hello, my name is Davis McCartney, and we have a great contest on our hands tonight from Bernlohr Stadium. Starting matchups for each side. First for the visitors in their all-black uniforms. They will travel from right to left here in the first half. Across the back line, Antonio Mendez, Charlie Riddle, Ethan Marshall, and Brady West. In the midfield, Christian Gomez, Franklin Rodriguez, Ethan Love, Hector Gomez, and Will Haar. And up top, number 7 in black will be Jagger Brooker. In between the pipes for the Bishops, number 00, Mason Taylor. He'll be making his 9th start of the season for Jay Martin's side. For the home team, Capital, at the back, Mej Awad, Bailey Locke, Colton Doherty, Jarrett Puckett. In the midfield, Matt Shepard, Chase Geddes, Mitch Hughes, and Jack Kasuji. And they'll look to feed the two up top, Jack Francisco and Colin McComb. As we're underway here. A couple minutes past 7 p.m. here as we get kicked off. I mentioned the coaching matchup. Jay Martin comes into Capital. 44th season as the Bishops head coach over at Ohio Wesleyan. The winningest coach in men's and NCAA men's soccer history, Across the midfield line on the other bench, it'll be Alan Yost. In his 10th season here at Capital, played for Jay Martin at Ohio Wesleyan, a graduate back in 2006. So he saw a lot of winning under Jay Martin. 2003, 7-4-1. 04, he was 16-2-2. 2005, 21-0. And graduated in 2006, as I mentioned. NCAC champion and national semifinalist with a 15-1-6 record. Here's Brooker on the far side. That cut out well by Doherty. While at Ohio Wesleyan, in his playing days, Alan Yost took on Capital twice. Once in 03, had the season opener against Capital, defeated them 2-1 in double overtime. And then his sophomore season in 04, the Bishops won 3-0. He'll look to flip the script here in this matchup as he's the head man of Capital. Matchup history really does favor the battling Bishops. 23-4-2. The record for OWU in this matchup as that's headed away by Locke and eventually upfield a bit further by Puckett. Left-footed strike. That by Hector Gomez. Went a bit awry, but you could hear the venom from up here in that left-footed shot by Gomez. So a good start here by Ohio Wesleyan as they've had a decent amount of what possession has played out here in the early going. Or the Puckett cut out. A handball called on Christian Gomez. So Puckett will have this free kick. Get things back underway. A couple Capital players will head forward to get on the end of this. In the box, headed eventually by Brady West. Battled for by Matt Shepard. Go back to Francisco. He gets around Gomez, gets it over to Kasuji, cross. Just goes aimlessly out of play, and Mason Taylor will see it wide. Two goalkeepers tonight. Landon Hain for Capital. He's making his second start. All 90 minutes and the only start thus far versus Wittenberg. And Mason Taylor, as I mentioned, this is 9th start of the season. Started all the matches so far for Ohio Wesleyan in this 6-0-2 campaign. Looks to find, flicked on by Kasoji. Awad has it in space. He'll cross it in. It was Hughes looked to get the header on it, but he couldn't stretch his neck out far enough, and that'll be a goal kick. So good from Capital here on this near side as Kasoji flicked it onto Awad, and Awad crossed just out of the reach of Hughes. Pressure by Shepard, but it'll eventually be cleared upfield and headed back by Puckett. Ohio Wesleyan 6-0-2. Currently first in the North Coast Athletic Conference standings. They lead Kenyon, Wittenberg, Oberlin, and Wabash. Meanwhile, in the OAC standings, Capital 5-2. They sit 4th behind Wilmington, Otterbein, and Mount Union. Geddes puts it into space. Just out of the reach of the on-rushing Colin McComb. Starting in his 3rd match this season, the freshman from Lewis Center. So this is a good test for Capital against Ohio, a good Ohio Wesleyan team before they head into conference play. That's starting on this coming Saturday, October 2nd. As they'll travel up to Berea and play Baldwin Wallace. Here comes Shepard. That's cut out well by Gomez. Here's Will Haar. Looks for Hector Gomez in the center of the park, but can't find him, but he finds himself back on the ball. He recycles it through Brady West. He switches play through Marshall and over to Riddle. Gomez all the way back to his goalkeeper, Taylor. Played over the top for Brooker to run onto. Looks like it's going to be cut out by Doherty, and he'll get it back to Hain. Over the top, good run by Hector Gomez. He gets on the end of it. Did a nice job of bringing it down with his chest and getting it to feet, but his left-footed shot will go wide left. So a good run by Gomez from a deep midfield position. And a really good ball by Brady West over the back line of Capital to find him. Just couldn't steer it on goal. Header won by Gomez. Rodriguez looks to bring it down. Here he is, Franklin Rodriguez. Overlapping run, cross into the box. Haar is there, but it's eventually headed away by Awad. West and Kasoji will battle for it. West tried to keep it in. Kasoji benefits. There's Kasoji. A foul called on Hector Gomez as he brought down Colin McComb. So a good tempo here In the first 10 minutes or so of this match, both teams going back and forth trying to find space to build off of. Each team with a handful of good chances, and Mitch Hughes looks to create another one here for Capital. Swing in the box, headed away eventually, falls to Bailey Locke. He just gets his shoulder on. It's eventually cleared by Marshall. Here's Rodriguez. Good tracking back on that far side by Geddes. Chase Geddes, the senior from Sunbury. He's playing and starting in his 8th match. Here's Gomez. Gets it over here to West. West to Har. Good defending by Kasoji. Gets it back to Awad, and they look to break. Shepard looking for McComb in the midfield, but here come the Bishops. Hector over to space. We'll see if Love can keep it in. He can. Eventually cleared by Capital. So a lot of space in the middle of the park for number 10 in black, Hector Gomez. We have a stoppage here. It looks like Jared Puckett's going to have a talking to by the referee, and it looks like a couple of Capital members of the training staff are going to head out and see if he's all right. Might have been a collision with his teammate back there, Colin Doherty. Might have gotten a knock, but we'll see. As Alan Yost does decide to, what looks like, bring a substitute in for Puckett. That's 15, Alex Moore waiting in the wings. He'll eventually come on now, bottom of your screen. So an early forced substitution for an injury to Jarrett Puckett. Bishops will get things going again. Hector Gomez looks it over his head. A couple players battling for it, but a foul called on Christian Gomez as a referee deemed to seen a forearm in the back there. Soji dispossessed. Here's Har through the legs of McComb. Gomez back to Har. Looks to dance around a wad, but he kicks it out. Players look for in terms of points for both sides for Capital. Jack Francisco has scored 4 goals. He leads the team in that department, followed by Spurk, Fonge, and Kasoji with 3. With Bailey Locke with 4 assists. Really facilitating for Capital. As a free kick will be swung in here from the near side by the left foot of Hector Gomez. Referee will wait. That left-footed cross swung in, headed away by Watt, but not completely out yet. And it's eventually cleared from the right foot of Matt Shepard. Talisman for the battling Bishops, Hector Gomez, who just swung that cross in, has 5 goals, leads the way for Owu, followed by frontman number 7, Jagger Brooker. Hector Gomez also tied in the assist department with Franklin Rodriguez at 3 thus far this season. A crossfield pass cut out by Geddes. He retains possession, looks to feed Francisco on that left side, but that's just going to be too far. But Francisco does well. That eventually wins his team a corner. So pressure being put on by Francisco on Riddle. Both of them battling in that far corner, and Capital will have a corner kick. Puckett, after being looked at, will come in to replace Moore. Ball swung in, claimed by Taylor. Good shot by Mason Taylor. He looks to facilitate it upfield. That's just too far, and it'll be dealt with by Locke. Hughes and Marshall battling for it. Falls to Haar. Looked to be a high kick by an Owu player, and that was Ethan Love. So a free kick for Capital here. Ethan Love, the one that committed that foul. He's starting his 9th match of the season. His one goal came at Hope. All put in the box and claimed once more by Taylor. So good communication from the Owu goalkeeper. Has claimed 2 in a row from Capital set pieces. That gives a bit of confidence to a back line as well when a goalkeeper can do that. Locke and Brooker battle for it. It's headed to the far side, and Mendez will win that. Plays it into space for Rodriguez. He battles with Puckett, but Puckett comes out with it, but it eventually gets to Hector Gomez. Here's Mendez once more. Ethan Love. Mendez, good tracking back by Jack Francisco. Looks to win it back for Capital. Christian Gomez over to Brady West. Swings a left-footed cross in, and there's a man there headed back. Eventually falls to Haar, but good save by Hain. The hands went up for Owu, but Will Haar was alert. He swung his foot through it. And fortunately for Capital, it's right at the goalkeeper, Hain. He made a good save. Put in once more, and Awad will track it down, get it upfield. Here's Kasoji. Geddes. Slows it down a bit. Pressure being put on by Gomez. So a cross from an Owu player looked to have hit a hand of Capital. A Capital defenseman, but he didn't know much about it. In a word with Hector Gomez from the referee, who was the main one arguing for a handball call. Once again, credit to Will Haar and staying resilient with it. He got the shot off eventually. Although it was right at him, it was a really good save by Landon Hain. Here's Brooker on the far side. Puckett the defender. Right-footed cross. Ethan Love there, but just couldn't extend the right leg to tap that one home. A couple Owu players getting behind the defense, and I think that's what Alan Yost is yelling to his back line about. Back line of Capital right now having a hard time tracking those runs of the mixture of Hector Gomez from deep in midfield, Franklin Rodriguez, Ethan Love, the whole front part of this OU team really contributing to what they're doing offensively. Here's Kasoji looking to dance around a couple defenders, can't do it. And Capital looking to gain a bit of possession here. Hughes over to Kasoji. And he goes back all the way to Hain. Hain, I mentioned, this is his second start, the freshman from Lima, Ohio. Charted all 4 of his saves this season versus Wittenberg. In that 1-0 win over the Tigers, and that's a foul. It looked like Marshall climbed over the back of Mitch Hughes. Locke pings the ball up to Hughes, taken down well by Mitch Hughes. Senior from Clintonville, Ohio. Starting his 8th match is Hughes. Awad, another right-footed cross into the box. Francisco at the back post. He gets his left foot to it, just falling down, can't get enough on it to get it over to Hughes. And Taylor will gather. So aside from the corner kick that they had a few moments ago, Capital have seen their most success down this right side through the right foot of Majd Awad. Push on Matt Shepard. Be a free kick for OU. Right in the center of the park. Shepard, Cincinnati, Ohio, starting his 7th match. As an assist on the season, that was at Oberlin. Awad up to Hughes. We'll see if he can bring it down. Will Haar battling. Over the top for Kasoji to run onto. He'll battle with Marshall, and he'll beat him there. Right-footed strike of Kasoji, saved well by Taylor. So once again, in and behind this left side of the OU defense are the Capital players, and they're producing their most offense from that. There's Awad battling with Haar once more. Good ball put in by McComb to Francisco, but Charlie Riddle covering. Sophomore from Hilliard, Riddle. 9th match this season. Capital will have another substitute. Ryan Caruso will come in for Colin McComb. Caruso right off the bench, putting pressure on that back line of OU. Wins his team another throw. Brooker looking to bring it down. Flicked on by Gomez, and a push in the back by Kasoji. Hard fall by Christian Gomez. Don't know how much was in the push. But a word from the referee to Jack Kasoji, the sophomore, and he'll be on his way. I know you will have a free kick. Here's Riddle up to Gomez. Over the top, Kasoji running onto it. Handled well by West. Good dummy by Har. He's got to step on Awad. Gets it by Locke as well, but Awad will recover. Commanding header by Marshall. Skewed clearance by West. Gets it upfield, does Love. That clearance will fall to Gomez. He'll put it into space for Mendez. Hasn't been on the ball much. Antonio Mendez, a sophomore from Guatemala City, Guatemala, but when he is, he's lively on that right side. All over the top, found well and looked to chip. The goalkeeper did, Mitch Hughes. Just couldn't steer it towards goal as it found its way left to that far post. Substitution for Owu. Number 9, Will Har will come off and he'll be replaced by number 30. That is Landon Duel, excuse me. Here is Duel. Looking to make an impact early. Gets it over to Rodriguez, but good tackle by Jarrett Puckett. Looks to have recovered well from that knock early in the first half that saw him walk around the Capital goal and towards the bench. Ball put in, headed by Brooker as he just climbed high enough to get over Awad, but that's going to go over the bar. So just under 20 minutes here in the first half. Good chances for both sides. Owu leads in the shot category 5-3, with 2 of those being on target for the Bishops. Capital steering one of those 3 shots towards Mason Taylor. Both teams have had good opportunities. Here's Rodriguez. He gets in behind the back line. And it's eventually cleared by Capital. Looks like the flag went up on the far side, and the flag will go up here on this near side for a Capital offsides. I think the referee played on, but Owu will restart. Here's Puckett. It's it up to Hughes. He's dispossessed by Gomez. Christian to Hector, and then Hector all the way back to Marshall. Another run from Hector Gomez, found well by Ethan Marshall. He'll cut onto his left foot. And then find the run of Brooker. Brooker has space. He takes the shot and tucks it in the back corner. So it all started from Hector Gomez giving the ball back to Ethan Marshall. He got on his horse and ran down the right side, found the ball for Marshall over the top, who cut inside on his left foot to find Brooker. And he notches his 5th goal of the season for Owu. You could somewhat feel it coming from Owu. The play has been over the top between the back line, and plenty of runs from numerous battling Bishops. And they eventually got that shot on goal, and they have themselves a 1-0 lead. Flicked on by Brooker. Locke there to deal with it. That goes straight up in the air. He'll deal with it once more, and it'll find Shepard. Here's Puckett. Shepard looks to get it over to Locke, and that's just going to be too heavy and a roll over for a throw. Brooker, the sophomore from Powell, Ohio. His Capital will have a substitution here. It'll be Spurk for I think Puckett, who's just, taking his time getting off the field. And Watt will get it going again. Good flick on by Francisco. Here's Caruso. Pulled back a bit by Duel. And a handball called on Kasuji. Booker with that goal now ties Hector Gomez with 5 apiece for OWU. Those are the 2 leading goal scorers for Jay Martin's side. He gets on the end of this one once more, does Hector Gomez. Looks to swing a left-footed cross, and it's cut out. But it'll be an OWU corner. Max Shepard defending for Capital. Now a substitution for OWU. Ethan Berkovitz will come in. Left-footed cross swung in, headed towards goal by Ethan Marshall, and it was just deflected by a Capital player and then eventually cleared. Long throw coming from Hector Gomez, flicks it into the box, headed away, and then eventually cleared more by Kasoji. But it only falls as far as Christian Gomez takes a swing at it with his right foot. Deflects off a Capital player, and it'll be a OWU corner on the far side. Swung in, headed down. Right-footed shot by Rodriguez, but that'll go wide. Looking to build from the back for Capital. Shepard gets it all the way over to that far side and Locke. Here's Locke once more. Gets it up to Francisco. Francisco flicks it on to Spurk. To the middle of the field. Here comes to the near side. Awad plays it into space. A challenge goes in for Marshall. And that'll go over the end line for a goal kick. So good build up through the midfield from Capital. A couple players getting on the end of it, possibly creating a good chance to steer towards goal. So the referee's going to have a word with Christian Gomez this time. As we tick down to 14 minutes here in the first half, a goal by Jagger Brooker has OWU ahead 1-0. All over the top. Eventually dealt with by Capital and then cleared upfield by Hughes. Battle on that far side. Capital looks to break with it. Falls to Duel. Recycled. Here's Christian Gomez. Left-footed cross swung in. Jagger Brooker there, and he chests it in. So another good ball put in by, I believe, Hector Gomez on that far side. And Jagger Brooker beat the Capital defender there to chest it in for his second of the night. And Owu takes a 2-0 lead. The goal scorer will come out for a rest here with 13:07 left in the first half. And he'll be replaced by Mikey Cockrell. Substitution for Capital as well, number 10. Devin Hess will come in. He'll replace Mej Jawad. So a couple goals here for Owu in the first half coming from wide areas, both coming off the foot of Hector Gomez to Jagger Brooker, who applied the finishing touch. Cut out, but Owu comes once more. Here's Berkovitz. Up to Cockrell. Gomez. The foul, says the referee, and here come Capital. Ball played into space. It looked like Francisco was checking too, and it'll roll all the way back to the Owu goalkeeper, Taylor. So Taylor with 12 minutes left, he'll take his time to get things going again as Josh Kabakunga, an Owu substitute, waits in the wings to come in here. Here's Shepard. The line to Caruso, and that'll roll out. That substitution will happen before the throw-in. Kabakunga will come in for Franklin Rodriguez. The freshman from Dominican Republic, Rodriguez. He's had a good first half. Christian Gomez plays it to the far side and duel. He's dispossessed by Locke. And then a foul committed by Sam Spurk. So stats as we sit here, 10 shots from Owu, 5 on target. 3 total shots from Capital and 1 on goal. Capital comes in with 19.7 shots per game. That's second in the Ohio Athletic Conference. Tries to get it over to Hess. He can't control it. Here's Hess once more. Kasoji flicks it on. Kabakunga. Francisco plays it into space. Here's Geddes. Geddes looking for the run of Sam Spurk, but cut out. Substitution for Capital, Veron Fongay will come in, and he will replace Jack Francisco. So I mentioned that shot per game total for Capital. They've got plenty going forward. As here is Fongay. It's eventually cleared. 19.7 shots per game. I said second in OAC. They have 19 goals coming into this match. That third in the OAC. So plenty of offense for Capital as they look to get back into this one. Hector Gomez feeds it to the far side. Shot taken by Duel, and it's just going to roll wide of that near post. A couple players crashing late for Owu, but shot taken on by Landon Duel. Here's Spurk. Puts it into space for Kasoji, but he puts the hand on the shoulder of an Owu player. That Kevin Macias, recent substitute. And Owu will get a free kick here with 8 left in the second half, or first half, excuse me. Soji down the line for Geddes. Geddes battles through a Christian Gomez challenge and still has it, but he's eventually dispossessed. Shoulder to shoulder from Kasoji. Berkovitz. Gomez, and then eventually fouled is Christian Gomez by Jack Kasoji. Gomez all the way over to Riddle. Substitution for Capital. Looks like it'll have to wait, but number 24, Jacob Taylor, waits for Capital. He'll come in momentarily in the final stages of this first half. Geddes looks to bring it down, flicks it over the head. Here's Locke. Kasoji. Puts it into space. Here's Caruso. Or Hess, excuse me. Now that substitution can take place. Jacob Taylor replaces Jack Kasuji. Walking off the field, looked like he was holding his left hamstring. Walking with a little bit of a limp, but as that cross goes through the hands of Mason Taylor. Cross came from Sam Spurk. And Capital will have a corner with 5:30 left in the first. Their second of the match. Once more coming from this far side. Corner swung in by Hughes, headed on. Just couldn't get the header on it, could Spurk. Deflected off his head and it'll be a goal kick. Here's Hughes, back to Fange. Flicks it on for Spurk. Good 1-2 between Fange and Spurk, but Spurk eventually dispossessed. Capital will have a throw from the far side. So a bit of good possession from Capital here in this first half. Good chances coming down this right side. 2 corners, and they look to prove something once more before the half. Locke gets the cross in, it's deflected, and it'll be another corner kick. One that Mitch Hughes will trot over once more to take. 6 players in the box for Capital, plenty of height to get on the end of this. Swung in and headed clear by Ethan Marshall. Ball finds its way to Doherty. He puts a strike through it. And it falls to Hughes. He'll take his shot, and that'll go wide. So a couple half chances there, and that passes to play for Capital. As they still look to register their second shot on goal in this match. Just bounces over Hess's head. Flicked on. Hain looked to gather, but a little miscommunication between Doherty and Hain. Header won by Marshall. Data play for an Owu throw. One which will be taken by Kevin Macias as he takes his time trotting up to take it. Junior from St. Charles. Hughes over to Caruso. Caruso looking for the run and spurt. Marshall will pass it on to Riddle, and he handles it well. The ref's going to stop this for the challenge by Sam Spurk and brandish a yellow card. So referee shows the yellow to Sam Spurk. Play might have gone for the Capital forward and came in with a bit of a rash challenge. He'll be the first in the book tonight. Thumped upfield by Marshall. Commanding header by Bailey Locke.
Less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Bailey Locke, 25 on the far side, and White starting his 8th match. 4 assists, as I mentioned earlier. He leads Capital in that category this season. Dumped upfield. Caruso lurking, eventually cleared away by Gomez. Falls to West. West looks to get around Alex Moore, and he does. Left-footed cross. As Kuhn was lurking, but cut out well, and here come Capital once more. As we tick under 1 minute here in the first half. Here's Hughes. Locke can't control, and it'll be cleared upfield by Riddle. Here's Landon Kuhn. Christian Gomez. Gomez gives the ball away. Capital wanted a foul, but none forthcoming. And a throw on the near side should tick this down to end the first half. So a good start to the half by both sides, creating good opportunities, but the persistent side in Owu got in behind the Capital back line once. As a ball given into the feet of Jagger Brooker. And he slid it past the outstretched arm of Landon Hain. And then across once more from Hector Gomez on the far side. Chested in by Jagger Brooker, and he notched his second of this match. So after 45 minutes here from Bernlohr Stadium, Owu have the lead 2-0 over Capital. Back here for the second half at Bernlohr Stadium. 2-0. Ohio Wesleyan with the lead. Stats from the first half are as follows. 10 shots for Ohio Wesleyan, 4 of those on target. 2 going past the Capital goalkeeper, Landon Hain. And that's how they have their 2-0 advantage. 5 shots, 1 on target for Capital. They lead 3-2 in the corners category and 6-6 on foul. So a physical match thus far through 45 minutes. The lone yellow card in the 44th minute went to Sam Spurk. And during that halftime interval, 2 goalkeepers warming up. First, for Ohio Wesleyan, there'll be a goalkeeping change. Chase Agan will be in net. Number 1 in the green jersey off to our left. As we get started here in the second 45, Ohio Wesleyan will go left to right. Capital right to left. So Chase Fagan, a senior, Blacklick, Ohio, went to St. Francis de Sales. He'll be in goal for the second 45 for the Bishops. And another substitution in net on the other side. It's Connor Sexton, a freshman from Delaware, Ohio. He will be in net for Capital, replacing Landon Hain. Capital will have an early set piece here in the second half, look to have the deficit. And Hughes will go over to take. Right footed cross in, headed away by Christian Gomez. Not completely out yet. Fall back over to Hughes. Here's Geddes. Surrounded by 3 OWU players. And he wins a throw on the far side. So I mentioned Sexton in net for Capital. This is 5th appearance. 8 saves, 2 goals allowed. And he started the first 2 games of the season for Capital. Francisco cuts that out. Taylor all the way back to the back line. Here's Awad. Now on this left side of the back line for Capital. That's from right to left. It'll go Locke, Moore, Doherty, and Awad for the back line in Capital. Flicked on well by Brooker. Here's Rodriguez. Rodriguez cut out by Moore. Good defense by Alex Moore, the sophomore from Fairfield, Ohio. And he wins a foul off of Christian Gomez, and they'll have a free kick. So through the first 15 minutes or so of the first half, both teams going at each other pretty equally. And a bit more possession gained by OWU. They had some darting runs from the midfield behind the back line of Capital, creating some good chances, and they eventually took advantage of those opportunities both times through Brooker, as that is skewed from the substitute Sexton. Here's Gomez, surrounded by a couple Capital players. He'll get it back to Marshall. Marshall pings it over to this near side, and that's going to skip up on Mendez. As he looks to bring it down, battling with Jack Francisco. That's eventually cleared away. So a bit of back and forth here in the first 3.5 minutes of the second half. Taken short to Gomez. Swung into the far side. Finds the head of an OWU player and looks to be ushered out by Locke, but he'll eventually kick it away. It looks like the ref said it took a deflection off of Will Haar, and it'll be a Capital throw. That ball rolls through. Brooker can't get on the end of it, and claimed well by Connor Sexton. First comfortable gather from him here as he starts the second half in replace of Landon Hain. All down the line for Francisco. We'll see if he can get to it. Defended well by Riddle. But he'll concede a throw for Capital. Thrown into Hughes. That's squared, but it'll roll just to Hector Gomez. And he'll look to get it up to Brooker. Brooker over to Haar. Defended well by Locke, but Owu will gain possession and try to keep it through Ethan Love. Here's Marshall to chip it over the top, but it'll be Kasoji battling with Hector Gomez, and then he'll eventually concede the foul. So a couple times now, Jack Kasoji has found himself with some possession, trying to dart past a couple defenders. Just muscled out a bit. Here's Love. It's it over to Gomez. Gomez looks to play a ball through the lines, and he does. Here's Brooker. Left-footed shot cut out. And it looks like it deflected off of Brooker, and it's going to be a goal kick. So Jacob Taylor looked like he knew it instantly, and Capital will have a goal kick from it. First goal kick from Sexton wayward, but Francisco gets it up to Caruso. He cuts back inside. Finds the feet of Geddes. Back through to Caruso. Left-footed cross, a little bit tame and cut out by Riddle. Excuse me, Ethan Marshall cut that one out for Owu. And the ref will stop this as we have an Owu player on his back. Capital looked to take advantage of a couple of Owu players napping there, trying to get on the board. Can't tell from my angle who that is. I believe it is 8. Christian Gomez, junior from Columbus, appearing in his 9th match tonight. Had the tying goal in the moment, knotting at 1-1 at Otterbein, where he played all 110 minutes against the Cardinals. So he'll come off the 8 in black, and he'll be replaced by Mikey Cockrell. So Capital get it going once more. Francisco looks to bring it down, eventually cleared, and finds the feet of Locke. Caruso putting pressure on the substitute Cockrell. Tracked down well up to Jack Francisco. He gets to the byline, and he's just going to run out of room, ushered out by Charlie Riddle. Hughes wins that, falls to Francisco. Francisco on the left once more, and he'll run out of room yet again. So trying to find himself on his left foot, Jack Francisco. Had 2 goals from the penalty spot in their last match against Case Western. They fell 3-4 against the Spartans. We're in a 4-0 hole around the 70th minute where Capital slowly fought their way back within 20 minutes. Just fell short. Will Harr will be brought down by Jacob Taylor, and OU will have a free kick. One that 10 Hector Gomez looks eager to take. Gomez looking to ping this in the box. Couple runners for OU. Sexton can't handle, and that's going to be headed off the line. Ethan Marshall looked like he had that past the goalkeeper. It was eventually headed away by Alex Moore to keep this at a 2-0 game. Shot at Sexton deflected. He parries it away. There's Charlie Riddle. Defended well by Jack Francisco, and Capital can relieve the pressure with a goal kick. So a couple of great chances, especially from Ethan Marshall. As the substitute goalkeeper, Connor Sexton came and couldn't handle it at first, and then looked like he was in no man's land. And Ethan Marshall, the junior from Bexley, just snuck it past the Capital goalkeeper, but cleared off the line eventually by Alex Moore. Here's a wad. Battling with Rodriguez, and Love gets it upfield. Just too tall for Brooker. And Moore will go back to Sexton, who gets it over to space and Locke. Kasoji. Taylor trying to get it to RT, but that's going to run too far, but he'll track it down eventually, as Rodriguez is the one putting pressure on him. Jawad looking to turn, but OU will have a throw. All punted into space on the far side from Ethan Love. And Bailey Locke carries away with it at his feet, looking to feed it in behind. Good ball in, and a nice save by the substitute Agan. He came early, did Chase Agan, and just made the save at the tip of his 18-yard box. And we have Will Harr on this right side out of your picture, and he'll come off, and he's attended to by a Capital trainer. Landon Kuhn will come in to replace him. And he'll look to defend this Capital corner that comes from the far side. One that will be taken by Hughes. Swung in, Taylor can't get his head on it. Chase Geddes with his right foot. Just can't steer it towards target. Another OU substitution is another player, Franklin Rodriguez, limping off here for the Bishops. So a couple starters. Picked up some knocks. Some substitutes will come in for OU. And we continue with a few ticks over 33 minutes here in the second half. Ohio Wesleyan lead Capital here at Bernlohr Stadium, 2-0 on 2 Jagger Brooker goals. Flag will be up on the near side for offsides. Now we'll have each team with one offsides infringement thus far. Here's Doherty. Awad. Looks to switch the play, just can't get enough on it that he wants. Headed away by West, only as far as Taylor. Brought down well by Kasoji. Looks to get it over to Francisco, but cut out well by Mendez. Flicked on by Hector Mendez. Hector Gomez, excuse me. Here's Mendez in space. Good challenge by Cockrell, but last off Caruso and an Owu throw. Calabrese can't find anybody, and Geddes looks to carry. Gets it up to Kasoji. Back to Taylor. Down to this near side, Nawad. Over the top for a run of Francisco. That's just going to be too much for the sophomore forward, Francisco. Good battle from Taylor. Geddes gets it over to this near side. Francisco can't track it down. Off the back of Hector Gomez. Plays it into space for Jagger Brooker. He's on a hat trick. Defended well by Bailey Locke, but he will concede a Owu corner kick from the far side. We have what looks like another injury for Owu. It's going to be Brooker. Looks like he might have just got his legs tangled up with Bailey Locke on the far side as they went one-on-one. But it looks as though he'll remain in the game and to get on the end of this corner. One that will be swung in by Landon Kuhn. Sexton comes and flicked on by Brooker, just goes over the bar. So a great near post run from Jagger Brooker, and we'll have substitutes for Capital. Those will be Puckett, Spurk, and Hess. They'll replace Francisco, Kasoji, and Awad. So some fresh legs for Capital as we tick down to half an hour here to go in this second half. So that's thumped up field. Headed away by Marshall. Here's Spurk. Get us over to Spurk. Spurk on his right foot trying to get past the Owu defender. Eventually cleared by Marshall. Eighth appearance for Sam Spurk. 3 goals this season. He's tied for second at 3 with Fangay and Kasoji in the goal category. So a couple of these Owu players on the near side who picked up some injuries here in the second half being tested out by the Capital training staff. Hopefully they're all right and potentially get back in this game for the Bishops. Here's Brooker. Pings the ball to the top of the 18-yard box. Takes a deflection off of Taylor. Will eventually be tracked down by Alex Moore. Dances around Gomez, and here's Locke. Calabrese. Good 1-2 with Ethan Love. He gets it over here to Mendez. Love Battling 3 Capital players, and Sam Spurk will come away with it. Gets it upfield. Mikey Cockrell there. And a challenge with Hughes. No foul on Mitch Hughes. And Egan will get it upfield for Owu. Here's Kuhn. Puts a ball into space, but that's just going to be too far and gathered by Sexton. Good run into the space by Dom Calabrese, excuse me. There's Caruso. Plays it into the corner, just not on the same page. His teammate, and West will carry. Here's Kuhn. Gomez back to Kuhn, just going to be out of the reach. Spurk tries to bring it down but can't. Little turn by Kuhn, but he'll concede a Capital throw. Substitution for Capital, 27 will come in. Colin McComb, and he'll replace Caruso. Another substitute coming in, Campbell, Josiah Campbell, freshman from Cincinnati. He's ready at the halfway line. Up to Gomez, good turn by Hector Gomez. Cuts in on his left foot, but cut out by Jacob Taylor, and now that substitution will happen. Another player for Capital coming in, 16, Jack Kasuji, as well as an Owu change. Josh Kabakunga will come in for Jagger Brooker. Owu get a start again. Here's Cockrell. Tries to get it up to Kuhn. He's dispossessed. Good defense by Riddle. Just taking the ball off Kasuji. Owu will switch the play. Here's Love. Gets it back to West. Right-footed cross swung in, looking for Gomez. Eventually cleared away, and then Spurk will get it upfield. And that ball put into space to run onto. Just can't keep it in play on the far side, can Devin Hess. Right idea from Capital, trying to pick Owu out as they had players advanced upfield. Just too much for Hess. The freshman from Hilliard. Here's Gomez. Looked to cut inside on his right foot, but good defending by Colton Doherty. The freshman from Cross Lanes, West Virginia. Doherty, this is his 8th start of the season in the back line for Capital. So still just the 2 shots on target after that early attempt here in the second half that Egan met at the top of his 18-yard box, the Owu goalkeeper substitution. Capital just with 6 shots, averaging 19.7 shots a game. Here's Kasuji. Looked for the run of McComb, just couldn't get it to him. Good turn by Calabrese. Here's Mendez. Gets it upfield, just can't be flicked on by Hector Gomez, and Moore will carry. Locke to Geddes, back to Locke. He's got a burst of speed, Bailey Locke coming up that right side. Got it up to Kasuji, just couldn't find anybody. Gomez looking for the ball into space, but Kuhn just couldn't get it upfield enough. That ball will be kicked out and roll out of play. Substitutions for Capital. Francisco will replace Spurk, and Mitch Hughes will replace Chase Geddes. Nice job by Josiah Campbell seeing that ball out of play, and a throw-in will come for Capital through Puckett. Puckett trying to get it up to Caruso, just cut out. Here comes Calabrese. Cut out by Moore, but the ref will pull it back for a foul. Here's Mendez. He puts the ball in the box from a deep area, headed on, but that'll be easy for Sexton. As it looked like Josh Kabakunga got his head to that, battling with a Capital defender, and just steered it towards goal. Nothing to threaten the Capital goalkeeper, Connor Sexton. Gomez looks to play it into the run of Landon Kuhn just behind him. One well by Antonio Mendez. Here's Cockrell. Over that far side and Kabakunga. Ball played into the space. Shoulder to shoulder, says the referee, from Moore and Gomez. But more of those diagonal balls from Owu that help them create this 2-0 lead. Both assists by Hector Gomez and both goals by Jagger Brooker. Real 1-2 punch up top as they were at the top of the goal tally for Owu coming into this match. The 2 goals for Brooker will put him at 6, while Hector Gomez sits at 5, but he picked up both assists, and he'll have 5 assists for the Bishops. Ball behind the line. Cleared away by Mendez, and it needed to be. Ball crossed in by Francisco. Eventually cleared away by Antonio Mendez as Devin Hess was lurking and looking to steer that towards the substitute Chase Agan's goal. But Capital will get a corner from it. It swung in from the far side. Just out of the reach of Francisco. Shot by Puckett. And that will go aimlessly over the goal line. Substitutions for Owu. 23 Berkovitz and 22 Drew Doza. They will replace Kuhn and Hector Gomez. As we tick down here to 19 minutes in the second half. Good lingo play in the midfield. Doze is going to turn. He puts a ball into space, looking for a run on this near side of Calabrese, but just too central was that ball from the Owu player. Here's Marshall. Mendez. Looking for the run of Doza, but Doza looked for the run over the top. Eventually cut out by Cockrell. We'll have a substitution for both teams. 21, Ryan Caruso will come in. He'll replace Devin Hess. And Thomas Stathoulis. He will come in for Owu. Sexton over to Moore, but he's dispossessed. Shot blocked by Sexton. So nice job by Josh Kabakunga to dispossess the defender Moore. Got his shot on goal, but unfortunately for him, right at Connor Sexton. Oh, we'll have a corner from the far side. Will be the man that had that shot on target. Kabakunga. Ball swung into the box, headed down. Deflected off the chest of Sexton. Don't know how much he knew about that. So it looked like he might have been getting screened by one of his Capital defenders. And I think it was Stathoulis, the recent substitute, that headed that towards goal. But Owu will have another corner, this time from the near side. And this one taken by Ethan Berkovitz. Berkovitz directing traffic. He had a challenge come in from Campbell. That ball over the top will go out of play. So a couple good opportunities from corner kicks for Owu. A substitution for Capital. 13, Chase Geddes will come in and he'll replace 27, Colin McComb. Third upfield by Brady West. Couple Owu players interested, but headed away by Alex Moore, and he'll concede the throw. Owu approaching their shot per game tally at 19.4. They currently sit at 17 with 9 shots on target. Egan will clear it upfield. There's 17 goals this season. Owu tied 5th in the North Coast Athletic Conference. With the 2 goals tonight, that'll be 5 games in a row for Owu where they have scored 2 goals. That one's chested back by Marshall to Egan, but he'll roll it out to West and get things going for Owu. Up to Doza. Back to West. West looks for the long ball over the top. Stathoulis has it. He chips the goalie, and that's going to go wide of this near post. So some indecision from Connor Sexton as that ball was over the top, just crept into his 18-yard box. Looks like he's coming off worse for wear, does Sexton. He looks to be okay. He'll limp that off, and Capital will have a goal kick. While we wait for that goal kick, substitution for Owu. Ethan Love Jr. from Hilliard will come off, and he'll be replaced by Hector Gomez. As I mentioned, 2 assists tonight for Hector Gomez, puts him up to 5. Also had 2 goals at Calvin. So producing quite a bit for the Bishops this season as that ball is put into space by Geddes. But it's just going to be too much for Caruso, and it's going to roll over to Fagan. Fagan takes his time, or Agan, excuse me, takes his time getting it into play. Here's Puckett. Puts it into space for Francisco. He just can't bring it under control, and Mendez will clear. Header won initially by Gomez, then by Moore. Here's Doza. Cut out by Marshall. And then West will go all the way back to his goalkeeper, Chase Agan. There's Campbell. Just loses it a bit, and it's going to go off him for an Owu throw. Two Capital players waiting at the midway point. Waiting to come in here as substitutes. As we tick down under 12 minutes. Sexton comes for this one, and he will gather. Puckett's fast pass can't find anybody. That ball played into space for Doza. Doza dispossessed and then is eventually cleared upfield by Capital. Substitutions now for both sides as Brooker will come in as well for Owu. He will replace Kabakunga. Then Hess and Spurk will come in for Capital, and they'll replace the two defenders, Puckett and Moore. Carried by Locke. Locke looks to go over the top for Spurk, but cut out well by Brady West. Good chance here for Capital. Cross put into the box, cut out by Riddle. Way back to the back line, handled well by Marshall. He gets it over to West. He's being pressured by Hughes. West will go all the way back to Agan, who clears it up and finds the feet of Hector Gomez. Here's Gomez. Stathulis crossing the box. There's Brooker on a hat trick. Just can't steer towards goal. Looked like he was put off just enough by Ryan Caruso. Just couldn't get his right foot on that Brooker. Here's Francisco. Turns inside on his right foot. He finds Spurk. Sam Spurk looking to dance around a couple defenders. Tries to pass it into space, just can't connect on that far side. Doza, Brooker. Field by Berkovitz. Here's Mendez. Stathulis into space for Mendez, deflected and handled by Locke and eventually cleared by Doherty. Hughes can't bring it under control. Here's Cockrell. Calmly over to Riddle. He looked to get it up to Stathulis. Gomez is battling two Capital players, but he's eventually fouled by Hess. So Connor Sexton, the Capital goalkeeper, directing the team on how to defend this set piece. One that will be swung in by Ethan Berkovitz. Right-footed cross, tipped away by Sexton, but eventually goes off an on-rushing OWU player. And it'll be a goal kick. Veron Fange comes in for Capital. He'll replace Josiah Campbell. And 17, Ethan Love comes in for OWU, and he will replace Drew Doza. Goal kick eventually falls to a Capital player. Stathulis takes down Geddes, but we play on through Doherty. Kasuji looks to win a header, but it'll fall to Spurk. Tracked back well by Jagger Brooker, and he wins it back for OWU, but they give it away. Here's Geddes. Left-footed shot. That's going to go over the bar. No trouble for the goalkeeper substitution, Chase Hagan, and it'll be a goal kick. So Capital, like the last match against Case Western, down late here with 6:20 to go in the second half, and they'll look to create some offense to get back in this. Created 3 goals in the last 20 minutes to Capital versus Case Western. So the offense is there, and as I mentioned, 19 goals this season, 3rd in the OAC, so they can score some. They need to do it quickly as we're under 6 minutes. Handled by Hess. Here's Kasoji. Looking for the run of Francisco, but handball by Cockrell. Geddes just can't get his pass over to Caruso, and Brooker cuts it off. And Hector Gomez brings it down. But Capital come away with it through Locke. Here's Hughes. Up to Spurk. Into space for Fange. He'll chase it down. But he'll be beat to it by Ethan Marshall. Throwing right to Ethan Marshall, and then he clears it away once more. Headed forward to Spurk, but cut out, and that ball cued around. Falls to OWU, and they might have a chance to break. All over the top for the run of Gomez. That's going to be too far, and the flag goes up on the near side for offsides. That kind of run, that's what we've seen tonight from this OWU side. Ambitious in terms of getting the ball into space and running onto it. We've seen that a little bit from Capital, but matched well by the back line of West, Marshall, Riddle, and Mendez. Those kind of plays, just like that one, into space for Stathulis. He swings his right foot at it, but he can't direct it towards the target. Then we have a substitution for OWU. Clock will stop at 3:51. Landon Kuhn, Tyler Dool, and Zach Jasper will come in for Stathulis, Gomez, and Brooker. Brought down by Puck it eventually upfield to Spurk. Get us over to Hess. He tries to bring it down with his chest but can't. And here's 13, Jasper. Puts it into space to Duel. Crosses with his right foot. A couple OU players there, but handled well by Capital. Capital throw. Won by Hughes. He takes it quickly. Francisco flicks it on to Veron Fange. He does well to flick it over the head of a OU player. Here's Francisco. Geddes. Suji to Hess. Hess just too much of a touch there, and Locke will bring it down. Fange back to Locke. Here's Veron Fange. Deflection. Falls, takes another deflection off, I think, Ethan Marshall. I caromed around a couple OU players. And no rush from Chase Agan, who eventually boots it upfield. That's flicked on. Flag goes up on the near side against Landon Kuhn for offside. So last push here in the 2 minutes for Capital as they're down 2-0. 2 Jagger Brooker goals in the first half, facilitated by Hector Gomez. Sexton's kick up to Hess, off the back of Jasper, and it'll be a throw. Thrown into space, defended by Mendez. 1 minute to go here in the second half. All thrown in the box, headed away. Eventually cleared upfield by Landon Kuhn, but it falls to Locke. Locke swings it in, headed away by Marshall to Francisco. And a handball by Mendez, and eventually he boots that away. Clock will stop at 41.2 seconds. And Capital will have arguably their best free kick of the night. A set piece that will be taken by Captain Mitch Hughes. Egan setting up a wall for OU. He's got 5 men in it. And here's Mitch Hughes. Nothing trouble in the goalkeeper there from Mitch Hughes. And that should do it tonight here as we tick down under 30 seconds in this match. So the lifetime match record will go to 24-4-2 for OU as they get the 2-0 win here tonight at Bernlohr Stadium over Capital.
6, 5, 4.
Both teams came out ambitious, looking to create some good offense. Just kind of tailed away from Capital, and OU continued to push with balls in over the top, and they found their way to get the 2 goals tonight, both coming from Jagger Brooker. He gets to 6 goals on the season. And Hector Gomez, who facilitated both goals, gets up to 5 assists on the year. My name is Davis McCartney. Thanks for joining me tonight from Bernlohr Stadium. The final score tonight, Capital 0, OU 2.